Do you remember the CC over C thing? Just to make sure you kind of know what I'm talking about, I'm going to do one CC over C, and this is times on the top. And if I said that in this room that we have, how can I do something that is different than I've done before? All right, people with chains around their neck. There's more than one. And people without chains around their neck. Okay, so this is going to be chains. And this is not. And then there's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 28, 30. Nice simple number. There's 30 of you. Now, how many of you would like to, I mean, some of you I can see, but how many of you can self-identify as, I have a chain around my neck? Raise your hand if you have a chain around your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, there's 8 of you with chains. Now, you can't fill in everything, but you can fill in a bunch of stuff. There's 30 total. There's 8 of you with chains, and a whole bunch of numbers can be filled in now. Andy, can you tell me what numbers I can put in where? All right, there's 30 people in the class. All right, that can go somewhere.
Is it the bottom of the seat?
Yes, but in the front or the end of it, the front of it. Yep. And there's 8 people that have chains around their neck.
So is it back first seat?
It's right there. The first one, the chains people. And then the not chains must be what? 22. All right. Now, I need a little bit more. I got to actually ask a math question now. This is a probability question. It would be, if I picked 2 of you at random, what's the problem I get one person, or no, what's the probability I get a person with a chain and a person that does not have a chain? If I took 2 random people, what's the probability I get one of each? The dice of destiny are going to actually do this so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this isn't complete random chance, honestly, but it's kind of close. So row 2, person 3. And that's the wrong hour. Olivia appears to be a non-chain person, unless you want to correct me on that. And the next one is row 6, person 5. And Henry, are you a chain person or a non-chain person? All right, so I got 2 not chain people. That's not what I wanted, so I lose. What was the probability that was going to happen? Well, I wanted 1 chain person and 1 not chain person, and total of 2 right there. Raise your hand if you had that set up properly. Okay, good. Remember, if they say probability, then you got to divide by something. If they had just said, how many different ways, then they could be talking about the top or the bottom. How many different ways could be this answer or this answer? So let me tell you what the question would have been. If it's the bottom answer, this one, I'm circling in red, that would have been, how many different ways can you pick out 2 people out of 30 people? That's a how many ways question. The top part, which I'll circle in black now, that would have been, how many different ways can you get 1 person with a chain and 1 person that does not have a chain? See, that's not a probability question. There's a lot of ways I could get a person with a chain and a person that does not have a chain. In fact, there's lots and lots of ways. But to get a probability, you'd need to take the top divided by the bottom. All right, so I'm going to give you one more question like that, except I'm not going to say whether it's a CC over C, or if it's just 1 C, or if it's C times C. You figure this out, all right? So here's my question. We're going to stick with the chain thing. How many different ways, all right, you already know what kind of question it is. it's not a CC over C. How many different ways can I pick out 4 students from this class? I could pick you 4, or I could pick you 4, or I could pick, go diagonally, you 4, or there's a gazillion ways. And then, really, somebody should have said, does the order matter? Because I never said the order mattered, but you might want to clarify that, because if the order mattered, then it would have been 30P4, but the order doesn't matter, because I didn't say it mattered. If I don't say it matters, then it doesn't matter. 30C4. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. So here's the in-between kind of medium hard question. How many different ways could I get 6 people, 2 of which have chains? How many different ways can I pick from you guys? 6 people. But 2 of them, exactly 2 of them, have chains. Well, as soon as I started about talking about chains and not chains, you knew that it was 2 C's. You should have known that. And since we know our chain number is 8 and our not number must be 22, then that's how you start. And then when I said I wanted 2 people with chains, then do you remember me telling you there's a total of 6 people? If you missed that, you wouldn't know how to end. But if I told you there's 6 people, then this would have to be 4. Even though I never said that, you can infer it from knowing that there had to be a total of 6. So must be a 4 and a 2. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Awesome. Then you already know how to do today's homework. So it's just going to be a matter of trying to figure out, is the question about 1 C? Or is it 2 C's? Or is it a CC over a C? All right, so now without any like guidance here, I want to give you one more challenge. These are not easy questions. I think this is the hardest thing on the whole test. The test isn't coming until next Friday, I believe. But so in this classroom, we have a fair number of people who are wearing blue today as either shirts or pants. Not just that there's a little blue, but that it's mostly blue. People would say, yeah, you're wearing blue pants or whatever, or a blue shirt. How many of you would identify as wearing some blue today? Raise your hand if you are a blue person today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of the 30 of you are wearing blue. Now, if I were to call 3 people out in the hallway, what's the probability that 2 of them would be wearing blue? Here's facts we know. 30 kids, 10 wearing blue. It was a probability question. And I wanted, how many kids to the hallway? 3 kids total. And I wanted 2 have blue. All right, when I have you compare with the kid next to you, I'm going to ask you to really look close at the numbers. They'll have a C and a C over a C. The question is, check all the little numbers and make sure that all your numbers match up with each other. All right. How many of you have got a completed answer? I promise not to call on you right now. I'm just saying if we're done. Okay, good. I think it's time. Please compare with the person straight across from you. See what they have.
Not a whole 20. That's about what I got. At least
tell me what you got?
Yeah.
Ready.
I got 10C2
10C2
times 20C1
20C1, and this must have been the blue people. Okay. Over.
30C3.
Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. All right. I feel like you get this stuff. And that's, is that everything we've learned so far? No. We've learned a bunch of things, but I think this is hard enough that I don't want to confuse you with a review of everything. I'll be doing much more review next week, but this is what you need to know for tonight. So find it. It's a Schoology quiz. It's going to be mildly annoyingly long, but you have a ton of time in class. And I strongly encourage you, if you get stuck, talk to the kid next to you first, because there's only one of me. And if everybody comes up and asks for help for 1 minute, that would use up all the time we ever made. I don't think that's going to happen, but if you have more than one question, you gotta get that help from the kid next to you. All right. Okay, so we have a fair amount of work time. That's all I got for you for today.